So today I decided to talk about my nose piercing because if it's not too obvious, I've not always had a nose piercing in my videos, and so it just makes sense that I do a video about my nose piercing. I should say that this is actually the third time that I've pierced my nose. The first two times, I think the first at 17 and again at like 24 or something like that, and then now once again. The first two times, well, the first time I got my nose pierced was completely a story in its own because I passed that. It was like a lot of drama, right? And so, but yeah, that's a different story for a different day. In today's video, I just want to tell you about my new piercing. But all you need to know from the first two times is that it closed up because I had medical sort of things that I had to do, and so I had to take my jewelry off both times. And so when you have a nose piercing and you take your jewelry out, it will close pretty quickly. The jewelry that I picked the very first two times was jewelry that was not really easy to reinsert, but it's kind of like a hook, a flat hook or loop. And so what happens is it's kind of hard to reinsert, especially if your nose is tender and it's like kind of not healed. To reinsert that kind of thing, it's like, it's painful. And so yeah, so that was the reason both times that I let it close, because I kept postponing to go back to the piercer and get it reinserted professionally and stuff like that. So I don't know, it just closed. Fast forward to today. So I just got this one done in August. I want to say it was the second week of August. And yeah, this time around I was determined that, you know what, there's no way that I'll let it close. I was anticipating that I was going to use the same jewelry, which is the loop thing, but I didn't have to do that thing, thankfully. And so this time around I picked titanium jewelry, which I understand that it has a lower sort of allergic reaction. Like if you tend to have sort of reactions to metals and stuff like that, then it's probably best to go with a higher grade of metal like gold, or I don't even know if gold is, I think gold might actually cause reactions in some people. But anyway, the last two times I did my piercings, it was both with like a, I think it's sterling silver, but it might have been some type of steel. I don't really know, to be honest. But either way, it's the sort of basic grade of metal nose piercing, nose jewelry you'll see at the store. This time around, this one is a little bit more expensive, and by little I mean kind of expensive. It's like double the price of the other ones that I've used, but it's 100% worth it, and I can say that now for that reason. And then the second reason is the way this piercing is the back end, so inside my nose, it's kind of like a stopper, but basically it's not a hook is what you need to know. So therefore it's easy to insert and reinsert even though I haven't taken it out. Yeah, so those are the two benefits. In terms of the place that I got my nose pierced, I actually considered re-piercing on the same hole which I've had the last two piercings on, but I was kind of concerned about the scar tissue because it's like I still kind of have a scar there, and I felt like it doesn't make sense to get another scar on my nose. But at the same time I was thinking it's gonna be painful if I re-pierce that exact spot. So anyway, when I went into the shop, I did tell them that I wanted the option of getting a hoop as well, so like a ring, because I want to have the option of wearing a stud or a loop. I needed to sort of move the piercing where it is now versus where my original two piercings were. So I might still actually re-pierce that scar tissue thing at some point if I'm like brave enough, so that I have like two piercings, like one little, like two dots. But that's like real gangsta, and like I'm not there yet, right? Anyway, so the location ended up being where it is now, which I'm very happy about. I've obviously not switched the jewelry because if you know about nose piercings, they do take a couple of months to heal. They do say that 3 months is the best sort of time to let your nose properly heal before you switch your jewelry, and I'm following that to the T because I don't want to get any weird infections on my nose not now, not ever. And so I'm thinking maybe in November is when I'll probably be switching my jewelry, or you know, getting into that world. And then in terms of healing and sort of taking care of it, so they gave me these two products. This is the cleanser, and yeah, it's basically like a mild soap to wash it off. And it's important that you use non-irritant type of soap or cleansers to clean your piercings, because obviously it's kind of like a wound. So if you have something that's super fragranced and like something fancy, it will irritate your skin. And so even when I wash my face, when I wash my face and I'm doing stuff like that, or even when I'm doing my makeup, I actually kind of work around the piercing. I don't put anything on it. And then the second thing they gave me is, it's just this aftercare, which, yeah, it's just basically like a spray that you would spray after you've cleaned your piercing. You kind of spray it that way. I haven't been using this as much, and I will tell you why in a second. So in terms of my daily routine around my nose, so basically every day when I'm taking my shower in the morning, I will wash my face with my regular cleanser, and then I will specifically just cleanse my nose piercing section, both inside and outside. Like it foams up, and so I just use this quite a bit, and you really need just like a little dot which goes a long way. And so after I do that, I then do a salt water soak. So I basically soak my nose in a shot glass, and for like a few seconds, I don't know, like a couple of seconds, and then I then take a Q-tip. And I know they say you shouldn't use a Q-tip, but I do, to kind of like cleanse around the piercing. And yeah, so that's basically my routine. And it is kind of weird in the sense that, I mean, it's been almost 2 months, no wait, it's been a month and a half now, and I'm still doing the same thing, I know. But honestly, I just want to make sure that I don't delay my healing for no reason. At night, I do the same thing. When I remove my makeup, if I'm wearing makeup, then I'll get to wash my face. But then there are honestly times when I don't wash my face at night, and so I basically just do a salt water soak, and then that works fine for me. And then also on days when I don't have time to do a salt soak, or times in the day, I end up just spraying this spray, which basically kind of works like it's a saline type of spray, is my understanding. So either way, it's kind of like salt water meets witch hazel meets something, but basically it's like making sure that your piercing stays bacteria free. So anyway, yeah, so that's what I do. I haven't been wearing that much makeup because of the fact that I'm very like aware that I have a piercing, and not that I used to wear lots of makeup. And then I will do a separate video about situations when I've had a keloid and how I've dealt with it. So a keloid is basically like a bump on your nose, like next to your piercing, which if you don't have a piercing, you don't know what I'm talking about. But if you've had a piercing on your nose before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I can do a separate video with my actual routine of how I clean my nose, and then also what I do to treat a keloid. In the event that I get one. I've had them twice so far. So yeah, so that's basically everything about my nose and my nose piercing. I'm assuming that everyone watching this video is at the age where they can get a piercing. I'm not encouraging anyone to get a piercing or do any body modification stuff, but I personally like piercings, and I actually like body art as well. And so, you know, I'm assuming everybody watching this is of age. And either way, I'm pretty sure you can't just pierce your nose without parental consent if you're under whatever age your state says. Yeah, so I really have been enjoying my piercing, and like I said, my dream would be to get 2 piercings, like so that I have 2 studs. That's like, that would be cool. Yeah, so I'm really excited about changing my jewelry maybe in the next month, and I will share that, and hopefully my nose would have fully healed then. It doesn't hurt anymore. I don't have any type of irritation. I don't feel any inflammation, nothing like that. Not that I had inflammation before, but then if someone would like bump my nose, I would kind of feel, or if I would bump myself on my nose, I'd kind of feel it. Like it would feel like it's ouch, you know, a little bit, but not in a big way. But yeah, it doesn't hurt me anymore. The piercing, getting your nose pierced is painful. I'm not gonna lie to you about that, because it actually is painful. So they use a real needle and they like pierce you like they're sewing you, kind of thing. So yeah, if maybe one day I'll tell you guys my first time getting pierced, and then you'll kind of see just how dramatic I can be. But the bottom line is it's actually really painful. So you kind of have to go into it prepared. I think it's best to watch other people's videos. There's some people on YouTube who've recorded their actual experience. I find that a little bit gross because I don't like looking at needles and things like that. But I know there are videos of people getting their nose pierced. I would encourage you to do that first before getting it done, so that you can see and tolerate, see if you can tolerate the pain, because it is unnecessary pain, right? It's just cosmetic. So yeah, so I'll end this video now because I think it's super long already. But if you have any questions about nose piercings or piercings at all, just let me know down below, and I will see you guys in the next video.